what's been up with the Lego? I mean, last time I spoke to you, a lot's happened, hasn't it, really, with the Only Fools and Horses
Yeah,
books?
a lot has transpired actually. I checked it today. I think we spoke February last year, which was, I mean, like other than the quiz we did, but just like from there on, basically, I don't know, it just kind of skyrocketed, I suppose, like to heights I didn't imagine, to be honest with you, like just because this was just a, I don't know, it was a spontaneous thing, all of it. So, but then actually after those months transpired, like February, I think the start of April, there was a situation where I got contacted by a journalist from Bournemouth, I think it was. And I was like, I get a lot of spam mail and stuff like that, and there's a lot of things like that. And you're like, you're just like, I don't know, you're not like sure about things. And I checked that stuff out, and basically they want to do a story about me and stuff like that, and they wanted to send it on to the big newspapers in the UK and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know you know, how all that goes. So, but when I checked it out, basically they were legit and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. And I did that. I wrote them a little story and stuff like just about me, and then they and sent some scenes and pictures and stuff like that. You know what I mean, from the stuff I do. And basically, like I think it was May, in the start of May. I think about five newspapers in the UK. They kind of picked up on that story, and basically I was like on in five or six newspapers. I think one in Scotland also, and the biggest newspapers in England, the Sun and the Daily Mirror and Daily Mail and stuff like that. And that was like a that was quite major actually. So from there on, and some articles were really nice, especially the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail came later. It was like a big article, and it was like, they called me an artist. I don't know what to say about that, but it is what it is, I suppose. So, that was one thing that was like quite major. So I see you see the newspapers behind my head. Those are the two, and the others,
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
great.
so that
What's the scene in that particular newspaper? I'm just looking. Somebody's in a blue suit. Is that Trigger, perhaps?
the I think most of them used for their front picture used the yuppie love scene, you know,
Through the bar.
um through the bar, yeah, and they had different titles, like one is Deltoy and one is We're Lego, something like that. The different titles they were used for, basically just they did their own thing, I suppose. I got as much as I could newspapers, like, because I got the prints off the journalist, but like just the physical thing, I took a couple. I have three or four, so I framed them and stuff like that. It means a lot, and you know
Yeah.
so that was quite major. After that, like, things went, like, you get recognition in another, like, I don't know, it's just another state of recognition, I suppose, like. And everything was just becoming more than I could, like, just handle, basically, at that moment. So, but and from there on, but the thing was also that I was going to go to the convention, which was also happening in May, late of May, which was a gift from my friend Rhonda and Edwin. And I was like, wow, so it was all a bit much, all a lot. So, even when I was in the UK, and when I was at the convention, I got treated really, really, let's just say, like, I don't know, everybody knew me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, they just, if they didn't know me by, like, because I don't expose my face to that extent, but they just knew about my creations, and they just knew, like, that was the Lego man. You know what I mean? Like, so, so
Yeah.
that was the thing. And it was stuff like that. And then from there on, everybody, like, who was at the convention got my figures, and I basically just wanted to show them their figures, and take a picture with it. But when I showed them like this, like, see, this is Dave. Um, so when I showed them the figures, they were like, okay, is this for me? And I was like, then, well, okay, it's for you. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah,
you know,
you can't say no.
and yeah, I didn't say no because I just wanted to think like it was basically for me. It was just I don't like autographs that much. I like my creations with the people I create. You know what I mean? Like that's the
Yeah.
thing for me. That means a lot for me. I have a book where I keep that stored. You know what I mean? Like that's my success, quote unquote.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm the same
and
actually because I like the interviews that we do. That's what I
see,
like. I'm
see,
not really into the autographs, if I'm honest. Not so
yeah,
much,
but
you know.
that's because it's more personal. It's something you create, actually. The interviews you do, like you on the podcast, do that's also creation to some extent. You know what I mean? Like you create that. It's an intimate thing. You know what I mean? It's more intimate. Like a signature is just a signature. Just for me personally, people are different, but you know,
I've got
um,
some, but I mean, I prefer,
yeah,
obviously
yeah, of
talking
course,
to them and things like that.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I also have some, and I have some stuff framed, and I framed some stuff, and I have like a lot of. Actually, most things I have are basically gifts from people and from my friends, like from the UK and stuff. But the things that mean the most for me are like reactions and just people, like I don't know, just Mental Mickey with his figure, or Daniel Peacock, or I don't know, and that kind of thing. And then I got to meet Sir David. So and I had a special figure made for him. I had actually two figures for him. One was, it was a double-sided figure. One was actually the because beforehand he said that Miami Twice was his favorite role that he played. Don O'Kerry. Recently, he said Jolly Boys is his favorite, which is a different subject, but Um, so I did Don O'Kerry on one side, and then on the other side, I basically did Ronnie Barker. Because Ronnie Barker meant a lot to him. Like they did
Yeah,
open
it's
all
hero,
hours.
really.
Yes, his mentor and governor and stuff like that. So I
He
did
and
that,
was that
and
the one you presented to him, wasn't it? The
yeah,
Ronnie Barker one?
yes,
Yeah, I bet he loved that.
yes. Yeah, Ronnie Barker was in the back, like it was a box, and
Hmm.
in the box, in the front of the box was basically Don O'Kerry on his. Do you remember the scene when he's on a treadmill, like on a
Yes,
bike?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that I did that scene, and I did him like in that scene, like when he's on that bike, and then when you open the box, like when you open it, it's Ronnie Barker in there, from all open as the in Open All Hours he played. I forgot, like as the
the main
character in
character.
Open All
Yeah,
Hours. Yeah, I forgot, but as the character in so when I gave it to him, he actually didn't know
Arkwright,
what.
wasn't it? Arkwright, I think was his name.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes,
coming into my head.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Outright. Yeah, I love that show, but I forget some things. Um, the thing was that when I gave it to him, like I gave that to him, and I gave him a recreation, a picture of Open All Hours of them all in the cast, like like I recreate scenes. So I gave that to him, and he was like, and he firstly, actually, he didn't know what exactly it was. You know what I mean? Like, cause
Hmm.
it's just a small box or something like that. There was a lot of people, and you get exhausted and stuff like that. And then I explained to him what it was actually. And when I flipped it around, when he saw Ronnie Barker, that like made him really smile and made him actually really happy. I think, like just from one certain picture where the photographer took the picture, like he seems overwhelmed with joy. So it was a really good experience, and got to spend some time with him even more. Like just I got some. I won't say special treatment, but just like it was really interesting. It was really good.
Yeah,
So yeah,
wonderful
yeah,
moment.
yeah. That was a wonderful moment,
And he
and
took time, didn't he, at the convention? Chris, who normally does the podcast, he was saying how he took time with everybody. Really, I mean,
he
longer than
did,
he should
he
have
did.
sometimes.
Yeah, he did, because different people were, but he did take time. Yeah, I understand everything was time. I must say that everything was like from my perspective, everything was really good and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on, and but people towards me, like the community, only fools and horses community, just fandom community and stuff like that. People in real life they were really, really, really nice. It was really nice. Like, it was really a lot of love, I must say. And some especially some cast members I'll just point out who are really wonderful. Andre Bernard is really wonderful. Like, she's really amazing. Like, I got to meet her like in real life. We did that auction for each charity auction for her, which Edwin does. She hugged me, stuff like that. Like, we know each other for years and stuff. And Anthony Corone is, yeah, no, he's just straight
Yeah,
up
lovely
shooter.
guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like, him for like, like that one guy from, just somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so
And he'll speak his
uh
mind as well, which is good. He won't
he
sit
does
on the
speak his
fence.
mind, but I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'm that type of person. I like that. I don't hold things back, and I like the truth. So, and I got to meet some lovely people even along the way, even with my friend Barry. I was there, and Edwin, and some. So, there
Yeah.
were a lot of people I got to meet. It was a really wonderful experience, to be honest with you. Like, it really, really, really was a lot of love, you know, and a lot of, like, just, I was just off my success, I suppose. So, that was like one of the major things. And one of the things that happened, actually, which I was also a part of, which was also means a lot to me, is that when I was in the UK, this person, Edwin's friend, Russell Carpenter, he was actually picked to, the Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee. Um, with the Queen had the Platinum Jubilee last year, and the Trotter van was, riding in the Jubilee and stuff like that.
I
And he
remember
wanted
it.
my
Yeah,
figures.
it was really nice.
Yeah, and he wanted my figures to be a part of that, and to drive in the Trotter van in that parade, and in front of I don't know how many people and stuff like that. I know it was the biggest. I don't know, just the biggest celebration, something like that. That
Hmm.
was like also a major, major thing for me, which I was really honored to be a part of.
Wasn't it the Platinum Jubilee or the Platinum Jubilee? Because it's quite
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, the Platinum Jubilee, because
You
they
heard that
the
story, didn't you, of the
yeah,
plates?
I know,
That
it's
was
it's pretty
brilliant.
cool.
And I got onto
Yeah,
them, and
I like.
I was like, "Oh, we're from the podcast," and I was like, "You couldn't send us one of your plates, could you?" Because I looked online, and they were like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you
but they
can
were saying
buy,
bulk.
yeah, 20,000." And I said, "You can't just send
Yeah.
me one, can you?" And they did, so I was very happy with that.
Mhm.
But that's
That's the nice
amazing
thing.
that happened. That was, to be honest, that was something right out of Only Fools and Horses, wasn't it? A misprint like that.
Yeah, it was like it was meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, and it was I don't know, it was like a parade of, especially all of it was like a parade of your history, I suppose. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
everything was in there, and only fools and horses to be a part of it, because it is a part of English culture. You know what I mean? Like, and it all made sense. You know what I mean? Like, so
it makes
it was,
sense.
it does, so that was like, yeah, those were, the highs, I suppose. Like, the highs, and then, then you got your lows, and then you keep going, and you know what I mean. Like, it's a lot of things that, with creation especially, but mostly, I don't know, that just that part was, yeah, that was quite big. So, yeah,
No, that's great. I
creation took.
mean,
Mhm.
the thing is, there's a lot of hard work to get there, isn't there? I mean, you've probably been doing it for a very long time, haven't you?
I actually not, like, because the thing is, not, I never created before in my life. To be honest with you, I am mostly destroyed. Like, I'm mostly that type of person. Self-destructive. I started to create, like, just create, because I create multiple things. Like, this is just about, like, Lego is just, how do I put it? It's just a subject I use. People use different things. You know what I mean? I use Lego specifically for this situation. I do create other things also, but, like, it's just a thing. Like, it. To be honest with you, if I could change Lego and use something else, I would. But maybe in time, if I find something else. But I started to create, like, probably 3 years ago, something like that.
I suppose,
It
yeah,
hasn't been.
that isn't that long ago, really. But
It isn't a long time, and the thing is, it just skyrocketed, you know, because it was a we it was it's a strange situation, like, because I would never imagine having my my about me. Why you want to write about me? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was just something I did spontaneously. It wasn't like I want to do this. It was just like, I actually needed a hobby. I
was
needed a
this during
hobby.
the lockdown as well? Or
Before the lockdown, I think a little before the lockdown, but the thing was, I needed a hobby because I used to play basketball a lot when I was younger. I still do now, but I had my dark ages and my injuries and stuff like that, and I just needed something. And then I, when I was a kid, I had a Lego, you know what I mean? And then I was like, I just found some old Lego and I was like, I want to put this together. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it went from there, and I always, when I was a kid, always, when I watched something on television or just when I watched some sort of like whatever film or something, and when a character was interesting to me, I wanted to have it in physical form. That was
mm,
the thing.
yeah.
I don't know
And of
why,
course,
but that's
you couldn't have that. You couldn't have them very often, could you?
yeah. And I couldn't have only fools and horses, and I was like, I can't have only fools and horses. I want to have only fools and horses because that's my favorite show. And then I was like, let me build the Nelson Mandela house. That was basically how I got started. You know what I mean? Like, and I did it. I built it, and I was like, okay, I built something. I did something. I created something,
Let's
and then
see
it
what
went
else I
from
can
there.
build. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then you progress and then you get better at things and like with everything, now when I watch my first things that I put out, I'm like, oh, this is not that good, and I'm still reprocessing some scenes I did, to be honest with you, because I don't like him the way I did him then, but you get better through time, so I
But
also
the
finished the
but the
I
way the
also fin-
internet is,
yeah,
you can re-add it to your Twitter or X, as it's called now,
yeah,
or Facebook,
yeah.
because people. I don't know if they have short memories, but they sort of don't mind, do they? That you've shown it before. They don't sort of remember, even if they love it.
I think the attention span is so short. I think like not immediately you could post the same thing honestly, but like probably in a month people forget. You know what I mean? Like that, it's just information that's flowing constantly. It's just changed. So um, that's the thing, and the thing is, I'm lucky that I have a lot of support. To be honest with you, also from the people who were in the show, the people who were associated with the show. So that brought me up a lot. And I never thought like, and I never thought in my wild, I never even thought about it like that. I would be like, I don't speaking to those people who played in that show because it was something fictional for me always. I watched it on television. It wasn't something I could touch or I could reach in any sort of way. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? But then you get to sit with them, talk with them. I also speak to some people privately. You know what I mean? Like it's but I'm the type of person who can't actually take a pat on the back, so I don't acknowledge sometimes actually the things I have done. I really don't like. I don't get it. I don't grasp it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I was in all the newspapers and stuff like that, and people keep telling me like,
Or
that
is it
stuff.
because you're trying to go for the next thing? I'm a bit like that.
I think
I want to
I
do the
think it.
next thing.
You know what the thing is? The thing is, it's also it's also probably like when you collect stuff, collection. When you collect
Yes.
stuff, it's not about the specific thing you collect. It's about the hunt. It's always about the hunt. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
collect something, you get something, and then you're on to the next one. You know what I mean? It's always like that. Because you just get something and you're not satisfied with that, and you're just on to the next one. I think it's more that, but
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm also like probably just harsh on myself. I can't. I have my perspective through my eyes. I don't have yours. I don't have. You know
But
what I
then
mean?
again, you sound a bit like Del Boy. Do you remember in the original last episode when he says the chase is over. Do you remember? And he says the
Yes,
fun part of it was actually
yes.
trying to become millionaires.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. See, that's psychologically how we are, how we're wired. You know what I mean? Because as long as you're in the game, it's fun. You know, when you achieve something, then it's like, because the thing was for me, psychologically, for me, when all that happened, when I got like I published, I don't know if that's the right thing, when I got to the Platinum Jubilee, when I got to meet Sir David, when I got to meet the other cast members, all of them, it was like, what now? You know, what now? What do I do now? Like, what can I possibly do now? You know, I did it. You know, I did everything I could have imagined, or I didn't even imagine. But what now? What do I do now? You know, and then from there on, I did have my dark ages where I was like, what do I do now? Like, I don't know. I actually don't. I still don't know to some extent, but I do know that creation is a part of me, and I really like to create, and I will keep creating. You know, that's
Hmm.
the thing. You know, but it was like, okay, I climbed the mountain and now I'm like, I gotta go down. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I did
Yeah.
finish my the only thing I did from there on, like in the past year, was I recreated 64 episodes, one scene, all in Lego. So every single episode, actually, I did also Beckham and Peckham. I also did that.
Oh
So I
wow, I
did
haven't
that
seen
for.
that one.
Yeah, I did that, but um I did that specifically for um the grandchild of John Sullivan who played Joe. Joe's his name, Joe Sullivan, who played the kid
Oh
and
great.
and David in Beckham and Peckham. He played the kid who with the ball, who gives the ball
Have
to
you
David
done the
Beckham.
one with Trigger? You can't park here, Dave. Have you done that one yet?
I did all the episode. I don't know if I did. The thing was that I did a mini poll from a certain. I did it. I did it like this. You take an episode, and there's one scene which is which is more, that is known for that episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It depends on the episode. And I asked people who are really close to me, and I said, like, which scene would you associate with that episode? So that's what I did for
But to
all
be
of them.
honest, you could be doing it for a long time because with Fools and Horses, there must be about 10, 15 moments in an episode, really.
Yes,
You could.
that's true. That's true. But now I'm on to kind of. I still do some. I recreate some certain scenes which I haven't done. I've done them all. Like I did every episode, but I recreate still some scenes that I haven't done. Like I don't know. Recently, I think I did some. I did something. I know I did. I did when they're millionaires when Delph Boy falls. I did that because I missed. I did something else from that. I still do scenes, but mostly I just wanna do a different route. I wanna use pictures from real life and then associate Only Fools and Horses scenes into them. Like for instance, I don't know, I took a picture of a church on a hill and I put Del Boy hang gliding in there. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
stuff like that, to associate it with real life and to have it basically. I want to do that because then that is exclusively my own creation. You know what I mean? And I can eventually put that in a book and make it like I don't know, it's probably a children's book or something in between. Yeah, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that'd be a
just
good
like.
idea with the Lego as well. And yeah, that look good.
Yeah, yeah, and I put like I basically put a scene like I don't know, or for example, I did Boise and Belgrade. I actually went to visit my family, so I was in Belgrade, and I took Mini Boise with me, and he was in Belgrade. You know what I mean? Like Boise and
Yeah.
Belgrade in front of the church. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But real life pictures. Not just
Hmm.
recreation from that situation, because that's more my that's basically just mine, because that if I'm doing the scenes, which is good and all, but I'm just copying, I'm recreating, you know what I mean? But this is more of a thing that that is linked only personally to me. But I'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of there's a lot of ideas. You just need ideas, I suppose. So you know, so
Yeah, and which was the episode that mentions Lego? Was it Yuppie Love, or was it another one?
two episodes. Yuppie Love and A Touch of Glass.
Touch of
I got
Glass.
A
Yeah.
Touch of Glass. That's A Touch of Glass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's A Touch of Glass, and exactly that one. But I gave the signed version. I gave David Jason to put a signature on that. You
Mm.
know, on that. That's what I got signed. And he looked at the picture and he was like, "Oh, I remember the scene." you know, I remember that scene, and he signed it, and it was, and I did that for my friend Rhonda, and I gave her the picture, the signed picture from David Jason. He wrote, "She who dares wins," so
Yeah,
that was a good quote.
famous.
She's a woman, like, and it was a good quote for her, and he signed that picture, yeah. So I did that one. It's interesting that it's mentioned two times. So that must mean something, I suppose. Even
Yeah.
even back then. Yeah,
No, I know
yeah,
what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
great
So
what
yeah,
you've done. I mean, from this one idea, it's got bigger and bigger, and as you say, you've done a
yeah.
lot of great things out of it. So I think
It
it's
it
great.
just yeah. I'm just like I don't know. It's interesting, but like Fools and Bricks, like it's my alter ego, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's something that just is growing on its own. Like. And I don't know, like, because elsewhere, like in the UK, in that community, I'm known by that. You know what I mean? I am that person. That's my persona. But it's different. But I don't. I just think I have my dark ages, as I said. Um, I gave up creation to some extent, but if
So
you
I
don't
think when
create,
you run out of things to do with Only Fools and Horses, although we hope you've got many more to come, you could perhaps move on to different series, maybe.
the thing is, I have done different things. Like I just recently did a Freddie Mercury. I don't know if I showed you that. I didn't show you, bro.
No, I haven't
Everybody
seen
loves
that. No.
everybody loves Freddie Mercury.
Hmm.
Uh, so I did Freddie Mercury for a friend of mine. I did him. I can do other things. It's not a question if I can. It's just a
So if you
question of
want
love.
to, yeah,
It's love.
yeah.
I got a lot of love for Only Fools and Horses, and it comes from my heart. You know what I mean? It's something
Hmm.
that's been with me for my whole life. It doesn't matter what's going on; it's there. And I don't know why, but it's just different. It's just a different thing. It's different. It's real life. It's like they're sitting in a room with you. You know what I mean? Like it's a different thing. And I can create for Only Fools and Horses related. I can create anything, but like for other things, I don't have that love.
Yeah.
Not that love. So it's harder
Not
for me.
not
I
that
could do like
level.
yes, and I can do other things. It's not a question. I did a lot of other things, but it's just, do I have the will or the wish to do them? That's the other question. You know what I mean? Like it's harder for me to do them because then I don't look at so much details. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not so intertwined with it. So it's a different thing. I'll send you the Freddie Mercury later.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be good to check that
Yeah.
out. And I think your favourite episode is Yuppie Love, isn't it?
Yes, and I did a little picture for you guys again for this podcast. I'll send you that picture. Because you mentioned that episode, so I put you in that wine bar scene.
Oh wow! Can't wait
Yeah,
to see that.
I put you in that. You could use that as a thumbnail maybe for this episode if you want to. I put you, Emily, Chris, and Chris. Yeah, Chris and Chris. Hey, say happy birthday to Chris today. I know it's his birthday today.
Is it his birthday today? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
So
Oh, I haven't
yes.
been on
Oh, come
Facebook
on.
today, so that's the only way I know that
Yeah,
it's
it's
his
his
birthday.
birthday today. Today or yesterday. I think it's today specifically. So happy birthday to Chris.
Yeah,
Um
happy birthday to Chris. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, so I put you three in the where the yuppie scene happens. Well, where he falls. I put you in that
Brilliant.
scene, and I put my Actually, that's my profile picture right now. I put Uncle Albert in behind. You'll see with his famous quote, "Don't try anything on me. I used to box for the Navy." I did.
Trotter's
I
Trembler,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, I did a little something, just for you guys. So, but yeah. And I'm doing a display piece, a new display piece. This is going to be for, I don't know if Anthony mentioned anything about this, but um, there's a charity auction going on in December. It's for Anthony Corone and for my friend Barry. And I'm doing a display piece for that actual charity auction. So now I want you to guess, if you can guess, which scene this is going to be from.
What, from Miami
Um,
Twice?
yes, from Miami Twice. Yes, absolutely. But if you can guess the scene, I'm wondering.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
gonna be it's gonna be a specific scene.
it's
Now,
either going to be when they're all sitting down at the table and he nearly gets whacked with
how
a
about if I
gunshot.
show you? How about if I show you what just things that I have done for right now? It's
Okay,
only in the start, but I can show you. Maybe it
give
helps
me
you
a
a little.
clue.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
I'll
I
show
was
you.
going to say the jet ski, but I thought maybe that was too obvious. But I reckon the jet ski would be the number one.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. So what does that look like?
The Everglades.
Yeah, not exactly.
No, the beach rather.
Right.
You got
Yeah,
deck
the
chairs
beach
there,
scene. Yeah,
so it must
yeah,
be the jet ski. Yeah.
yeah.
Is
It's
this the
gonna be the
swimming
beach.
certificate scene?
Yeah, yeah. That situation I'll do. I'll try to recreate when they dare him when he says, uh, uh, "I thought you Brits were sailors." When they tease him. That
Yeah,
I'll try to recreate that scene. I think it makes a lot of sense because it's Miami Twice and stuff like that. So I'll try to do that. That's in December, so we'll see.
great. And
Hopefully,
you'll have to see Anthony in the new Exorcist movie. Yeah, when we spoke to him, he said he's in the new Exorcist movie, and we were like, oh
Yeah,
wow, yeah,
yeah,
as a priest.
yeah. He plays the priest in the Exorcist. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it came out. I think it was a week ago, something like that. So I'm glad. To be honest with you, I'm glad that all these actors who have been in Only Fools and Horses so long ago and stuff like that, who we know are still really active and are doing a lot of things still. I
Yeah,
know that Vaz Blackwood is in a new movie. He has a new movie coming out or is out, The Shadow. I know Anthony Corone now is doing The Exorcist, which is a high profile movie, and I know that Nicholas is in the new Frasier,
yeah, he is.
which
Yeah,
I'm really happy for him, and I'm happy for all of them, to be honest with you. And I heard that they did a lovely tribute to Archie Lyndhurst in the first episode. I think I haven't watched it yet, but I just read it, so that's a good thing, and it's good to see him back. Just just that. So I'm glad they're all doing their thing still. You know what I mean? Like they're still active and they're still
yeah.
So
I
that's
mean,
really
it's the caliber of the show, isn't it? Even like actors who have only been in one episode, they're always going to be
yes.
remembered, aren't they? Always.
Yeah, they're gonna be remembered, the people like me and you, and that yes, but it's good to see them that they're quality actors and they
They're
you know
still
they do a
doing what they
good.
do. Yeah,
Absolutely, you know what I mean. Like they're not just like somebody who has been like, I don't know, like you have a lot of actors and they're like, oh, one hit wonder or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like just
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that. But they have a lot of things that they're capable people, like capable actors, and that's why the show had its. That's why the show was so good. Because everybody was so good at the
Oh
job.
yeah,
It was like
amazing co-stars. I mean, that's probably one of the things that
absolutely,
made it. The whole cast. I mean, if it was just Delboy
absolutely.
and Rodney, it would have been good,
Yes,
but it wouldn't have been nowhere near as good, really.
that's the thing with Only Fools and Horses. Do you know that every single person probably that was in that show was good at their role. Like everybody was good. Like because you have certain shows and you're like, oh no, I don't like him or whatever. But
Yeah.
like for me, like everybody who was in there, even the people who were like supposed to be like, I don't know, just somebody you
Minor
don't like.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, you still like them, you know what I mean? Like you were still like they did a good job at their role, you know what I mean? Like so that's something that's really special. So, but you can see that because they're still acting. Everybody is still active. You know what I mean? Like it's a good thing. So everybody still has shows and they're progressing in their careers still. So that's fabulous for them. So I like that a lot. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Zagi.
Eh,
And I'll
Thank you,
speak to you soon, yeah?
Chris. I'll send you Freddie, and I'll send you the picture. And bonjour. Thank you. Say hello to Chris and Emily. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Will do. Thanks a
Bonjour.
lot. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Hooky Street.